Hello, my name is Gisela and I am a young leader from Juntos. We are here today in this mural aquí y allá, putting our broken hearts, remembering those who are taken away from us in the worst way by deportation.
I'm Aaron Garcia. I'm here with
Erica Almiron.
She's the executive director of Juntos. So can you tell us a little bit about the program?
Sure. Juntos is a community-led Latino immigrant organization here in Philadelphia. We've been around for 10 years and we fight for our human rights. We organize our community to fight for our human rights around immigration, education, worker rights, and in general just to ensure that we have dignified lives.
There's a smaller group called Fuerza, and I'm part of it. It's the youth group, and what we do is we get together every Monday and we talk about what we want for ourselves and for everybody out there that doesn't have papers and that doesn't have a chance to go to college.
The immigration reform that's happening right now is actually not all that great as everybody makes it out to be. It's not very inclusive, it's actually very divisive. Not a lot of people will actually benefit from it. People have been deported. I think President Obama is the president in the history of the US that has deported the most people in his 2 terms now.
In America, they say that we're a big melting pot. Do you feel as though there's a sort of contradiction in us being so strict on immigration but not allowing other immigrants to come over?
Sure. I think that part of what happens is that people think about immigration as like a siloed thing, but immigration is actually part of something much larger. So you have to think about why do people come, right? And you need to think about like people have been coming to the United States for hundreds of years. And so like what have been always the reasons and why are there laws now that make it hard for people to come?
4 years ago, one of my friends lived through this. Her father was deported, leaving his wife pregnant and 3 other kids behind. By being miles away from his family, he decided to cross the border again.
People come because there are lots of policies that make it so that our countries suffer, right? There's a lot of US policies. For example, something called NAFTA, which is the North American Free Trade Agreement, which meant that the factories that were here could move overseas and then they would pay people really cheap. People couldn't afford that and so they come. And so it's like, why aren't we talking about that when we talk about immigration?
This affects me because I came here to get a better education, and now that I have my kids, I'm here to get a better job to be able to support them and give them an education.
My 2 smaller siblings and my kids were born here. I couldn't imagine how my life would be if anyone in my family was deported.
What would be some advice you would give to any undocumented youth who might be watching this program? People who need help.
Sure, I would say to any undocumented youth or anybody who's watching this show, don't be afraid. There's always a group out here that wants to be with you and that there are lots of people in this community that I understand what you're going through, and that you should come to Juntos, and there are lots of other young people who want to stand with you, and this is your time to fight, not just for you as a young person, but for your whole community. Young people have been able to change this country for decades, and the undocumented youth community isn't any different. So come show your power and come to Juntos.